Okay. Oh, look, mouse. Come back. Out the way, baby dog. Charles, can you get off the mat? Right, my lovelies. So, to start with, I actually want to lie on the floor and just get some breathing correct first. There's particular hip-based stretches that I'd really like to focus on today, because I was talking to another specialist yesterday, and Iffy has said the same thing, our yoga instructor. There's an awful lot of stress that's held around this area here, and a lot of emotions are held here and stress is held here. So I want to sort of really work on that. So if you're not stressed or emotional, you don't become it. And if you have had a bit of a rubbish week or day, that we can just try and help there. And it also feels nice. So even if you're not feeling terrible, it just feels nice as well. So I'm going to work on that a little bit as well. But I do want to start just with some specific breathing, and then getting your abs active before we get going. So first of all, we're going to move small dog toy out of the way. That's yours, Teddy. Okay. So I want like you to bring yourself down the sitting mat, and then just very slowly roll yourself down. So get yourself comfy, and by that I mean just ensure that your back doesn't feel stressed. So it may be that you've been sat at a desk all day and you're hunched over slightly. So I just want your back to de-stress. It might just feel a little bit spasmy at first. Bring your feet very solidly onto the floor. And then if you do have sort of, you know, hair bubbles and all the rest of it in the way, just make sure that they're comfortable and not stretching your neck. With your hip bones, I'd like you to find your hip bones and then put your hands on them, and then just tilt your pelvis towards you, so that you might need to wriggle a bit, just so your back feels very, very flat on the floor, and your core is very mildly engaged. So if you tilt that, it does have to slightly do something, only very, very slightly. So we'll work on that a little bit more in a sec. But wherever your hands feel comfortable, personally, I feel quite comfortable with them on my hip bones. If it's also more comfortable for you to have them by your side or palms facing up, any of those iterations is absolutely fine. So I very much would like you to close your eyes and try really hard to control your breathing for a second. Okay, so just get yourself a little bit more present in the room. And we're just going to start our breathing. So remembering it's in through your nose and out through your mouth. And we're using our diaphragm, so the bit underneath here, not your tummy or not your chest. So you can expand your ribs out and back in again. So let's make a start. Breathe in and breathe out. Now as you're going, just try and lengthen the time that you're taking. So now let's start with 1, 2, 1, 2, and then do 1, 2, 3, hold, 3, 2, 1. Just try and regulate and try and deepen that breath. Especially on the out breath, really think, I'm going to breathe everything out. Now what happens is it gets a little bit, air right at the bottom of your lungs can get quite stale because we're shallow breathing all the time. I want you to get all the stale air out of the bottom of your lungs, and the way you do that is breathe right out until you can't breathe. So breathe in, breathe out. And then you run out of air, and then do the same thing again. So we're just going to practice that one. So breathe in, breathe out. There. That's at the point where you just run out of air. Great. Right. So again, let's keep in this position, but I want you to feel that your body's gone heavy. So it all feels a little bit more sunk into the mat. So we've got our breathing regulated now. We're going to start actually from your head this time. So think about how heavy your head is. You're all brainy ladies. There's lots of brain, active brain and heavy heads there. So just give your head a little tiny, tiny rock. Nothing dramatic. Just feel that you've got your head sinking into the mat. That's it. Really breathe in. Sink that head down. Good. Right, shoulders usually far too far off. So what I'd like you to do is bring your arms up to the ceiling, hold on to your hands, just clasp your hands together. Just mildly lift your shoulders off the floor. And breathe, and when you breathe in, they'll separate. Breathe out and try and push them down onto the mat and just sink your hands down. Back to your hip bones or to the floor. And just feel that more of your shoulder blades are on the floor. Really try and, as if I'm very mildly just pushing on your pectoral muscles, just relax them right down. Breathe and relax. Good. Okay, so bring your concentration all the way down your spine. And if you feel that there is a little bit of a gap still, I want you to re-tilt and feel that it is very solidly on the floor. And with your pelvic area, I just want you to very slightly lift one hip off of the floor and then swing over to the other hip. So you're just very slightly rocking from side to side. That's it. Okay, come back to center, breathe in, and then just try and sink. Really try and feel it taking the mat in and just sink it right down. Breathe in, sink it down. Very good. Okay, last bit is your feet. So just give them a little wriggle. Just wriggle your toes. Again, as I say this a lot, feet are just ignored very frequently. And they do an awful lot of work for us. So just try and really relax them. Spread your toes out. Even if you have got socks on, just spread your toes out. And we'll take a deep breath in and feel as if you're just pushing the soles of your feet into the ground. Breathe in and sink them down. Lovely. So your whole body should feel relaxed but heavy. You should suddenly feel quite a lot more heavy than you actually are. Breathe in, sink the whole lot into the mat. Just try and breathe out any stress, any concerns for the day. Breathe them in, breathe them all out. Lovely. Okay, so mine should be a little bit more in tune with what we're trying to do this evening. Now, with regards to engaging your core a little, it's whenever you're doing any exercise of any description, even if it is a very, very relaxing session, I want you to always consider what your core is doing, because it's a lot of all your energy and actually your ability for your limbs to work properly comes from here. So having a strong core is much more important than just having your belly pulled in. It sort of creates your inner strength. So I really do want you to have a think about it. So at the moment, it should feel like it's doing something slightly because you're tilted, but it should feel fairly soft and just fairly relaxed. Now, I want you to put your hands around the bottom of your core. And I want you to think, right, okay, I'm going to breathe in and then just give it a little tense. Now, this will feel different for different people because your muscles are working differently, but Just see how you feel. See the difference between when you're fairly relaxed and when you're tense. So breathe in. Feel your abs tense. So tense your abs. Don't hold your breath. Tense your abs. You should still be able to breathe and talk. Give them a feel. They should feel a lot tougher. And then if you haven't got a small dog licking your head or now sitting on your head, relax. Teddy. Okay, let's do that again. Breathe in. Tense your abs. Feel the difference. Feel them engaged. Remember to breathe. You don't have to hold them and then not breathe. And release. Feel the difference. Let's do that one more time. So breathe in. Tense and really feel it nice and tight. Tense. This is the bottom, by the way. It's not necessarily quite so easy at this stage at the top. Feel those abs doing some work. 2, 1, and relax. Good. Right. So they should feel like, yep, okay, I know where they are. They're engaged. I can feel them doing something. So let's just move very slightly further up. So if you are right underneath your ribs, so find your ribs, and then you should just find the sort of slightly squidgy space just underneath it. At the moment, it should feel really nice and relaxed. Definitely not doing anything at the moment. But what I'd like you to do is put one hand behind your head, hold on to that space with the other hand, and then very, very, very slowly, I'd like you to breathe in and then lift your nose, and you're going to come into a crunch. So breathe in, lift just slightly, and you should feel them engage immediately. Now, as I said, people will feel a little bit easier or feel a little bit deeper. Just hold it up, just gently. Feel them engage, and then very slowly drop your head back down, and then feel the difference once you relax. So they should feel really soft. So let's do that again. Keep your fingers right at the top. Breathe in, breathe out, lift nice and gently, and feel the difference. Now, because we've engaged the bottom half first, they should engage as well. Hold it. Remember to breathe, and then sink it back down and relax. Okay, give them a squidge again. Should be nice and soft. Let's do that one more time. So you've still got one hand beneath your head to hold the weight. Breathe in, lift it up. Squidge. That's it. Should be nice and tight. Have a feel of the bottom ones. Should be nice and tight as well. In the middle, yes, they're doing something, but not specifically. Roll it down. Good. Okay, now we're relaxed. They should feel engaged. So whatever we're going to do now, they should feel much more engaged. But it's always really good to understand how the different sets, particularly with your ab muscles, how they work and how they feel when they're engaged. Because sometimes when we're doing certain moves, you don't actually have a clue whether they're engaged or not. But it's good to sort of activate them first, understand what's going on, and then they'll actually remain active for the rest of the hour now. Okay, so we're just going to just work on that a little bit further, and also try and do a little bit of hip flexor stuff. So your feet are on the floor currently. I'd like you to now put your hands palms facing down on the floor, just to stabilize yourself. Just give your feet a little wriggle because they've been stable for a while. Okay, now we're going to practice that engagement again. So take a deep breath in and engage your core, and then we're going to lift one of your legs up to tabletop. Now, if you do this properly, it shouldn't actually be that easy, but because we've activated your core, it shouldn't be as bad. So breathe in, hold that core, and then just lift, peel your foot off the floor, and then bring it up. So the other leg's staying completely still, and this is now up to tabletop. Now, what you should feel is that your lower abs in particular are holding your leg. Your legs shouldn't feel heavy, but your abs are certainly working. Just one leg, and then bring it back down. Then relax. Okay, breathe in. Engage the core. Heel your foot off. Lift. So hold it there. Now, if you want to just engage it a little bit further, just bring your knee slightly away from you, and that should engage it a little bit more. Hold it there, hold it there. Just try and breathe. Feel your abs going, oh my God, and you've only lifted your leg. Right, bring it nice and slowly back down. And breathe and relax. Again, because of what we just done, you should really feel the difference between relaxed and tense now, really. Okay, so let's try that one more time. So I'm going to talk a little bit less and just do the work with you. So breathe in, lift, hold it. Remember to breathe. Okay, slowly bring it back down. And relax. Good. Okay, other side, breathe in. Engage. Lift. Remember, keep the knees slightly further away from you if you want it harder. Hold it. And bring it down. And relax. Nice. Right. Let's try both. It does make a difference, okay? I am trying to still keep you fairly relaxed, but I really want you to notice the difference. So try and keep your shoulders on the floor because they very much want to try and get involved. They are flat on the floor. When we breathe in, we're going to peel both feet off now and just hold them. So you're going to tilt your pelvis, breathe in, lift, peel the feet off the floor. Should not be easy. If it's too hard, bring your knees further in. Now, can you feel that because you've engaged everything, your core is having to do quite a lot of damn work now? Good. Right, roll it down really slowly. Feet touching the floor. Lovely. Right, we're going to do that one more time. Breathing in. Engage that core, tilt your pelvis, peel your feet, lift. Oh, feel that. Remember your shoulders should not be by your ears. They want to be. Hold it. And roll it down nice and slowly. Engage, 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 engage. Breathe in, relax. Very good. Right. Okay, so very much should feel like, okay, they're definitely engaged now because you've had to do quite a lot of work. So now we're going to breathe in and bring your knees right to your chest. So breathe in and push them to your chest. That's it. Right, tiny, tiny little rocks from one side to the other at the moment. Hands remain on the floor. Nice and slow, little tiny rocks. You're just peeling one bum cheek off the floor. And then the other one just a tiny amount at the moment. Okay, bring it back to center. Hold onto your knees. And then I want to stretch out right at the bottom. So it's just at the bottom of your coccyx. So all the way at the back. Oh. And breathe back in. Now, usually tummy, boobs, or ribs get in the way before you can actually bring them right back in. So just bring them in as far as you will allow. And your bum just lifts off the floor slightly. And then bring it back. Okay, breathe in. And relax. Lovely. Okay, so taking hold of one knee, I want you to bring the other leg up to tabletop. So just engaging the core again, and then bring that knee as far in as it will come. Hip flexors are just starting to go, oh, okay. Really pull that knee in and keep the other leg still. Right, now once you've got hold of this knee, I'd like you to bring your leg out, hover it, and then bring it back in and back to tabletop. So not all the way in, back to tabletop. Hover it out, stretch and point your toe. Bring it back in. And one more time. Stretch it out, really, really, really point your toe. Give it a good old stretch right towards the wall. And then back in. Good. Bring your leg all the way up. So it's, that's what workout I did. Oh my God, straight leg. Hold it here. Keeping hold of your knee. So that knee can be right in now. And then we're going to flex the top toe. Flex and point. So top foot doing this. In fact, both of them, they could do that if they're both available. So point and flex both. Oh, that's it. That does feel a bit weird in your hand, and you can feel your muscle and your tendon doing the work. Ooh. Stretch and flex. One more. Stretch. Feet get a really nice stretch and point. Okay, so bring that knee down to meet your other knee. Swap knees. Get yourself comfortable. Bring that other knee right in. Feel the hip flexor going, oh God. And then bring that other knee out to tabletop. Use your core to hold it there. Really feel that knee nice and close. And just double check your shoulders. Are they relaxed on the floor still, or have they just crept up? Okay, so we're going to point. Bring that leg out, point. And back in. Back to tabletop. Doesn't need to come all the way in. And bringing it out. So really point that toe, stretch it right out. And back in. And again, let's do two more. Out. Hold that knee. Nice and strong. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And back in. And let's go one more. Out we go. And back in. Lovely. Okay, so bring that in a little bit further and then bringing the leg up. Ow. Oh. Okay, hold it here. Did my first workout back at the gym today. Gonna regret that tomorrow. Flex. I'm lying, I loved it. Point, flex, point. That's it, keep flexing and pointing. Does feel a bit funny in your hand, I know, because you can feel your tendon doing the work. Point and flex, feel that the back of your leg, the one that's up. And point a couple more times, that's it. Really good stretch, this one. And one more, flex. And point, lovely. Okay, bring your knee back in, so you've got two knees in your hands. And then we're going to do little circles, so outward circles. One knee in each hand, and you're bringing it out and round. And the other way, so back in. Lovely. Okay, one more. That's it, fantastic. Okay, back to neutral. So cross your legs and just keep your feet together. And then I'd like you to put your hands to the side and use your core to bring your feet to the floor. And what you'll feel is that right at the bottom of your back, it's going all the way down really slowly. Now engage your core, make sure your back doesn't arch. Nice and slowly, all the way to the bottom, wonderful. Now just drop your knees out And I've said this before, if it's just too much, make a fist with each hand and just put it right by your bum. And then that should stop them, prevent them from falling down too much. If that's, fine and it doesn't feel too bad, I just want you to take your hands away and just really let your knees drop out. This is probably one of the more important stretches that we're going to do this evening. I really want your hips to really stretch out and release. A lot of stress held here. So if you're normally thinking, oh, I normally flop to the floor, I don't think I understand. It's just emotional stress. I say just, that's really hard, but it is emotional stress. Just relax. Also, if you have got period pain, anything along those lines, no cramp, anything like that, this is massively good for that. Right, now we'll come back to here. I want you to put your hands on the floor and engage, breathe in and engage that core, and then we're going to lift your legs back up again. This is not easy. If it is too hard, just bring your knees in. So breathe in and just start to lift your feet back off the floor again. That's it, nice and slowly. They're in a butterfly position, so they're still out. And back up. Right, so you've got your feet crossed. So just sort of slightly hook your feet round, toes around each other, and then you can stay there. Good. Hold it up. Hold it there. Now, we'll come back to this position, but I want you to unhook your toes and bring your actual toes together. So it's just a wider butterfly. So keep your toes. Put your hands on your knees, and then you're just going to ease, and I do mean ease, don't force your knees out. Very, very, very similar position to a sitting up butterfly. But when you do it here, gravity is working a bit harder, so this should feel a tad stronger. Try to keep your toes together and just ease your knees down to the floor and away from each other. Now you might need to slightly get further around and just pull a little bit more, depending on how strong you want to go. Try and keep it relaxed. Very nice. Breathe. Okay, nice and gently release and come back to the position you're in. So your toes are locking around your ankles and you're putting your hands back down so you can stay in this position, this butterfly position. Now we're going to come down again and just see if it feels different. So breathe in, engage your core, and then bring your feet to the floor nice and slowly. Really, really slowly. This is why you've got to use your core to control, because it will just flop on the floor otherwise. Okay, feet on the floor, bring your knees right out. So can you feel if you've gone any lower? I can feel a bit lower. Just make sure your back hasn't arched too much and just rearrange yourself if it has. And try and relax those knees right down. For me personally, I find this quite hard. I'm quite tight in the hip area, so this isn't that easy. But if your knees are just on the floor, just enjoy the stretch, actually enjoy the relaxation. Breathe. Lovely. Okay, hands by the top of your legs. Breathe in, and then you're just going to close your legs using your hands as well. So breathe in, breathe out, and just close your legs with your hands and your muscles. Good. Okay, feet back onto the floor. Oh, that's it. Good. Put one leg over the other. And then first of all, I want you to bring them in, and then we're going to go to the side. So again, hands to the side, breathe in, engage your core, and lift your knees. Engage and peel your foot off the floor and lift. Good. Hand on each knee, and this is a glute stretch. So if you have been working your glutes, this is a very nice one. Just be aware of pinching your groin. And I haven't got any of the boys online tonight, but if you're looking back at this and recording, just be careful. And the further away, if you bring your knees right in and then you just slightly pull them further apart, you should get more of a stretch on that top glute. Oh. If you've done some weighted glute bridges or anything with a bar and some weights, this is really good. Really, really good. Just release your hands and then just really slowly use your core to bring your foot down to the floor. I'm quite deliberate with movements today. Okay, and relax. Swapping legs. Right, breathe in, engage and peel your foot off the floor and lift. Good. Right hand each side on the knee. Bring it nice and close as you can get, and then just pull your knees very slightly more into a twist, so apart. Relax, 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 relax. Relax those shoulders. Ah, good stretch. Oh. Right, release your hands. That's it. And then just tuck your legs. Okay. Feet off the floor still. Knees. We're going to bend to 90. So we're going to come up into a tabletop a little bit more. Hands spread quite wide so you've got balance. And then we're going to just slowly dip to one side. Just again, you're engaging your core. All about the core today. Core and hips. Bring it down. Just relax on the floor. If you want to extend that, turn your head to the side. Look away from your knees. Now we're going to do the further extension today, but it's absolutely fine for you to stay here. So if you do want to further extend what we're doing, then your top leg comes up and you're holding on to either your ankle or your toes. It's quite a strong stretch, that one. Breathe. Okay, release whatever you've got, your ankle or your toes, and then just bring your knees, feet back together. And then I want you to engage your core and lift back up nice and slowly. Oh, there we go. Right, just rearrange yourself if you need to. So you're back in tabletop in the center, and then we're going to come across the other side. Just bear in mind that usually the one that you choose to go first is the easier way. So this might be slightly harder. Go nice and slowly, engage your oblique muscles. Get them to slowly bring you down. That's it. Release and relax on the floor, making sure your shoulders stay on the floor. And then you're looking the other way. Breathe, relax. Just really enjoy this one. It's such a nice stretch. The amount of times I have done this with people over the last few weeks because their backs are just completely stressed. It's incredible.
Okay, so if you want to stay there, stay there. If you want to expand this just a little bit more, you're straightening your top leg. Now what you should feel with that is that it extends the stretch, and it also gets it right down the back of the leg that's straight. And if you're going high and holding your toe, that should be quite strong. Try to breathe. Release whatever you have, and just bring your foot back to meet the other foot. Take a deep breath in, and then you're engaging your obliques and bring yourself back up again. Use your hands to stabilize. Breathe in, breathe out. Oh, and lift. Oh, that's quite hard. Oh, good. Back to center. Okay, hands back down, and then just slowly bring your feet back down. Get those core muscles just to engage really slowly. Find your toes on the floor, find your heels on the floor. Lovely. Right. Okay, we have been in this position for a while, so I'm going to move you before your back starts locking out. So bring your legs long. You might need to just rearrange your back very slightly. Now bring your arms up and over. Now again, rearrange your shoulders so they're flat again. And I'd like you to concentrate now on what your back is doing. So everything in a pencil stretch should be all nice and long and stretched out. Now, when you are stretched out, your back should be in a slight arch. So what we're going to do is try and get rid of that arch. So you're going to breathe in, make the arch more. Breathe out and push the arch away. So again, your core is having to do some work. So breathe in, breathe out and push. Sink it to the floor, hold it. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. And again. Last one. Lovely. Relax. Hands back up and down to your side. And just give your legs a little wriggle. Wonderful. Okay, we have been down here for a long time, so I'm going to move you. So if you want to bring your hands in front of you, and then we're going to lift our head and just roll yourself nice and slowly up. Lovely. Okay, I'm just going to spin around so I can see you guys. Oh, hello everyone. Right, legs nice and long, hands behind you. We're just going to do a little bit of chest stretching. So bring your shoulder blades backwards. Try not to shove your head backwards as well. I know we do that sometimes. I want you to keep your chin to your chest and really just stretch your chest out. Breathe in, and that should stretch it even further. Really nice stretch around the front. Bring your shoulder blades together and bring it up. And then we're going to do the opposite. So arms up and fold it forward. So if you have got hold of your toes, you can really stretch at the back. If you haven't, then you're stretching at the back of your legs. So push those toes forward if you've got them, and then really feel that around your shoulder blades and the back of your legs. Good. Just release that. Bring your arms up and down. Okay. Cross your legs for me. Again, just trying to ensure that they're not actually hampering your knees going down. So again, just really doing a little bit more work on those hips and making sure that they feel totally relaxed. So we're going to use your the weight of your arms and just bringing them down to the floor. If they're not already down on the floor, if they are, just drop your head and try to relax into this position. That's it, and just bring yourself out. Then we're going to have our hands in front of us and just walk things forward and bend at the hips. Just really try and hinge forward. It doesn't matter if you're here or you're up here, that's absolutely fine. Just as long as you're leaning far forward as you can. And if you are able to, just bring your head to the floor. That's it, little relaxed, roll it up super slowly. Get yourself out of that. Wonderful, just gonna roll our shoulders at the top here. Nice rolls. Every time I ask you to do anything like this, just do them fully. Nice big full roll. That's it, lovely. Hands to the side. My total favorite stretch, I believe. All the way up. There's many, but this is up there. And then come to the side. Now this time, we're going to roll it forward. So you have just done this move, so it shouldn't be too difficult. Try really hard not to fall. Roll it forward, swap your hand, and then you're coming up to the opposite side. And roll it forwards, swapping your hand, trying not to fall forwards, and to the other side. Use your core, it's very engaged. And forwards. And to the side. Beautiful. Beautiful ballerinas this evening. And bring yourself upright. Right, just rearrange tops. Good. Hands together. These are for the typists. And just roll your wrists. And roll it back again. That's beautiful. Give them a shake. Right. Probably about time we slightly got off the floor now. It's been nearly an hour. So from this position, either just bring yourself forwards. I'm going to spin to the side so I'm in the right position for you. And just come onto all fours, just nice and gently because we have been in that position a while. Right. So let's start making sure that we feel balanced. And then coming up into a really nice strong cat stretch. Bring it back down to neutral and into your cow. Let's do the same again, then we're going to advance that slightly. So all the way up through, nice until drop your head. Bring it through to center and all the way up. Good. Okay, back to neutral. So we're going to do a cat stretch, but then we're going to bring it up into a downward dog, which we don't normally do. So I want you to first of all tuck your toes under now, come into a cat stretch first, then breathe in, and then lift into a downward dog. Straighten your back out. You're arching and then you're straightening it. Just hang here. Now the tricky bit is getting back into a cat stretch. So your back's got to do a bit of work here. So come up onto your toes, come down onto your knees and start arching the back. You'll see what I mean. It's not that easy. You have to concentrate. So you remain back in your cat stretch. Okay, we're staying in our cat stretch. Keep your toes tucked. Breathe in. And then we're coming back up into the downward dog again. That's right, Harry. He thinks it's funny that this is the thing the dog actually does. He actually does downward dog and upward dog. Right, so concentrate. Bring yourself back down using your cat stretch. That's it. feet. Knees hit the floor, just untuck your toes, bring yourself to neutral, and then come up into the cow stretch. Stretch it out, very good. And back to neutral. Right, one further thing for the hips. We're going to do lovely pigeon pose. I absolutely love this. Just because we're in that position, I'm going to do a little calf stretch. So bring one knee forwards, not right forwards. The other leg you're going to stretch out behind you. Bring your toe under and just put your hand slightly further forward. Or you can come down onto your forearms, whichever's more comfortable, and then just push back. For the runners, which is all of you actually today, this is a really good one. Calves, such a nightmare. Always, always stiff. I'm not a runner and my calves are stiff, so. Hold it here. Breathe in and relax slightly. Breathe out, push it back again. Now this does start to loosen after a while, but it's probably very tight, so just give it a sec. Right, just release and bring your knees back together. And then you're straightening out your other leg. Tuck your toe under. Breathe in, push back. And breathe in, release slightly, and push back. Okay, release and bring it forward. Lovely. Okay, now we're going to bring your knee right forwards, get your foot out of the way, and then we're going to slide back into a pigeon pose. Just really sort of just edge your way down to this. Your hips should be not finding this too difficult now because of the work we've done, so it shouldn't feel too bad. Once you're down here, just little tiny rocks. And then when you feel comfortable, and only if you feel comfortable, then we're going to come all the way down, okay? Good, okay, just roll yourself up nice and slowly. Bring your hands back to your knee. Tuck your back toe under. And then you're going to bring yourself back into a plank position, okay? So back into a plank. Bring the other knee completely forwards. Tuck your leg and foot out the way. And you're sliding back. That's it. Bring yourself down, little rocks. Okay, and then you're bringing yourself all the way down. Good, excellent. Okay, hands back to your knees. Tuck your back toe over. This time you're coming to all fours. Okay, lifting your knees and sitting back on your heels. And we're going to come down to a really nice child's pose. So really stretch your fingertips right to the end of the mat and then eventually drop your head. Lovely. Bring your forearms back, so you're still down, but your forearms are down. And we're going to finish with we haven't really focused on upper body today, but I just want to just do shoulders very quickly because it releases the stress at the back. So just thread the needle through, keep nice and low. If it's too difficult, then just bring yourself up, bum up will make it easier. But if you can keep everything low, more of a stretch. Twist, head on the floor. If you want to make it harder, you're going to lift your arm up and put it behind you. Bring it back. And then you're going to feed your arms back through, come back onto your forearms. And then we're going the other way. So feed the other arm through and drop your head down. And then we're lifting that arm if you want to. Feed it round. Good. Drop your hand and feed it back through. Lovely. Okay, just roll yourself up nice and slowly. Just rearrange myself again. So knees together. And we're going to tuck our toes under. Come back onto your toes. And then head down, bum up. 2, 3. Lift. Oh, back of legs. Just hold it here to rock your head. Relax, relax, relax. Feel everything heavy. And then rolling it back up super slowly. Stack the vertebrae. Give yourself a second. We have been on the floor for an hour. All the way up. And release. Very nice. Right, ending as usual. So all the way down. Scoop up. Nice and tight. Coming onto our toes. And again, all the way down. Up. Lift. And last one. Down and up. And lift. Wonderful. Very lovely. Thank you very, very much, guys. Just give me a second. I'll just put you on to